Hello everyone, not too long ago I did a video on using a Rockler taper cutting jig to cut my pin blanks and handle blanks and all that. But before I even published that video, I ordered some toggle clamps. Now I'll put a link to that video below and up here. So I'll go ahead and show you the toggle clamps and show you the process I've been doing to make this way faster and probably safer. So here we go. Right, here is the jig, and it works very well, but whenever you're clamping these down with your fingers over and over, it's hurting your hand a little bit, and it's a little bit slower. So these toggle clamps from Armor-Tool, these are TC-HH70s. This is the high profile one. They have a medium one and a low one. And these ones, we'll go over the adjustments more depth later, but these adjust that way. And there's a screw right in here that adjusts the clamping pressure. So we'll get to those later. The first thing that I did was I just kind of made a rough shape with the CNC, and I sat these on here where I thought I wanted them, and I drilled those holes by hand, and then countersunk them with a countersink bit. And that was pretty cool. And then so I made it a little bit better and did this all with the CNC, used the 90-degree V-bit and made this a little bit better. And then the last one I did, I rounded off all the edges and still did all this. This is made out of melamine, so it's a little bit susceptible to chipping out or whatever, but we got it done. This thing in here allows your blank to fit in there at 90 degrees without hitting this corner. So it's a lot nicer than the first one. So with all of that, all I really did was replace this top one that comes with the taper jig from Rockler with my own. This one has this piece of metal you can adjust. I went ahead and just built it right into the bottom. And so I have these countersink bolts. These are 1/4 by 20. And all I'm going to do is put them in here. And we made it to where they're underneath the surface of the material. I'm going to load these up. We're going to go ahead and set these over here. And these actually are slotted that way, so there's a little bit of adjustment this way. I'm just going to set these on here. Go ahead and load these up with these washers all the way around it. 1/4 by 20 nuts that go on there. Put all of these on. Tighten these. Sometimes these will tighten up just like this. You don't have to hold the Allen head on the bottom, but sometimes you do. So I'll just get these tightened by hand real good. Okay. So now that's all left to do is replace this top. These, we're not going to use these anymore, but we can if we wanted to. So I'm just going to take these off. I'm going to take this off and just set it to the side. And all we're going to do is set this on here. Once again, we could still use these other clamps if we wanted to on this, because I made the same kind of hold down piece down there. So we're going to go ahead and just replace this. Okay, these are the pan blanks I make, and they're the same size. I use silicone molds, and they're all the same size on all these blanks. So I'm going to set this on here and adjust this to this. I've already cut this on the table saw, so that's already done. So I'm going to make this flush with the edge of that all the way down, and that's already pretty good. And we're going to go ahead and tighten that down. So that should be good. Close enough either way. You can do a lot of fine tuning on your own. These adjustments right here, we're going to set them to where they hold it down, but they're not going to get cut by the saw. So we can kind of do that. And So now you can see how they're kind of leaning this way. The bolt is leaning inwards like that way. So now we can adjust this until this is kind of straight up and it looks like it's mechanically sound, and I'm going to go ahead and do that. You can see these are pretty straight up and down here. It looks like a way better connection, and where the blade's going to hit right here, that's not going to hit these. So we have this moves in and out, that moves up and down. There's a lot of adjustment with these. The other adjustment is how hard it clamps down. Right now I don't have it hardly any, and this is opposite of what you really think it is. So left is going to tighten it and right's going to loosen up the tension. So we have it pretty loose right now, so I'm going to turn that a little bit and just kind of go a couple times until I feel like it's enough tension that it's going to hold it, but it's not so much that it's hard to do. A little bit more than that, I think. Boom. I'll do the same thing with this one. I think it's ready for a test run. One of the things that's cool about this is it's auto adjusting. Here's a pin blank and it clamps down to it. And here's a handle blank. These are 1.5 inches, a lot bigger than that. And it still clamps to it. So it is auto adjusting. So if you don't have like an extreme difference, these are going to hold these down just fine. As you can see, this angle is kind of not how I like it. So I made a whole nother one just for handle blanks, and I'll show you cutting a few of those blanks. So this is the one I have for pin blanks. I'm going to set this to the side, and we're going to cut a couple handle blanks. I already have this stuff adjusted and the blade raised and all that. So here we go. All right, this is the Rockler taper jig it started off as, and these are the Armor-Tool STC-HH70. They're the tall ones. Super cool. I bet that just one on each one would work, but I was prototyping this and I wanted to see, and I actually like 2 of them on there, but I think one would work. I feel so much better, even without these clamps. The taper jig was so much better to cut blanks with. It was just not as fast, and it was kind of hurt my hands when you do 50 at a time or whatever. As these ones are going to make it so much faster, so much safer, and so much easier to use. I'm going to have some CNC files on my website to these, and some of these blanks that you see will be on my website and stuff. So if you want to come and check us out, I actually do a live show every Saturday on resin casting. We have a good time. Come and see us in the chat. Go follow the links below, and we'll see you next time, and y'all be good.